So there I was, lined up and really looking forward to the Gallipoli exhibition at Te Papa. I walked in and bam, a wave of emotion hit me. If you're sensitive, intuitive or an empath, this sort of experience isn't unusual. So how do you deal with it? Today we're talking about the things you can do to manage the challenges that come with being sensitive. Let's get started, shall we?
Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Project Joyful podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Tutty, your medical herbalist and high performance coach. So, hey, Project Joyful isn't just about being happy. It's about consciously creating a life you love. It's about remembering how to reconnect with your soul-centered joy. You know, that joy that comes from doing what you love, from living on purpose, and from being in a life that allows you to experience deep joy moment by moment. So hey, let's get started, shall we?
So there I was, lined up to see the Gallipoli exhibit at Wellington's Te Papa Museum. If you've not heard of the Gallipoli exhibition, it's an exhibition created by Weta Workshop in Te Papa, and it tells the story of World War I through the eyes and words of 8 ordinary New Zealanders. I walked past the entry attendant. I was full of anticipation, and then it hit me. This almost overwhelming wall of emotion, fear, anguish, hope, love, all the feels. It pulled me up. I was rooted to the spot. I knew I couldn't go in, but I'd already passed through the entry point. What would you do? If you're sensitive to energy, you're intuitive, you're an empath, or you're listening to me describing this experience and you're thinking, I might be that. Experiences like this aren't unusual. And spoiler alert, if you're thinking, am I an empath? You most likely are. So what's an empath? Well, an empath can sense other people's feelings as if they were their own. They feel things very deeply. Some empaths sense physical sensations, some emotions, and some sense the energies that are around them. Researchers have suggested that people who identify as empaths may have more mirror neurons than their less empathetic friends. The HeartMath Institutes found that the heart and the brain can generate electromagnetic fields, which they say contain information such as what we're thinking and what we're feeling. So being an empath equips you with some amazing skills, particularly if you're in a caring profession or if you're managing a team. But being an empath can also create some unique challenges, which, if not managed, can show up as exhaustion, burnout, anxiety, or depression. So the first question when you're feeling the feels to ask is, whose feelings are they? Empaths often carry emotions that aren't theirs. This can show up as feeling a certain way and you're not really sure why, or maybe you want to buy something that's not your usual vibe. Many energy experts will teach you to armor up so that these emotions bounce off you. There's a place for that, but living your life through this armor can cut you off from experiencing the highs and the lows, and actually, that isn't really authentically who you are. So the goal is not to carry those emotions round with you, rather than going full shields up like you're on the USS Enterprise, preparing to withstand an enemy attack. As soon as you sense a low vibe vibration, reinforce your grounding and move it out of your body. Self-care is crucial when you're sensitive. Again, not from the fear sense of being under attack, but from the self-love sense of taking care of yourself. Just like brushing your teeth or cleansing at least twice a day, and also whenever you think you need it. Think cleanse and fill, and then finish off with a lovely sealant. Spaciousness is something to be actively sought out. Empaths often require more quiet time and periods of solitude, a time to decompress without all that stimulation. And because empaths feel everything around them so deeply and so personally, there's often a tendency to put themselves last. You'll tend to do everything you can to help the other person feel better because you'll feel better soaking in their upregulated emotion. And this can show up as people-pleasing, a need to save others, running yourself ragged and feeling responsible for everything and everyone. conflict can be torture for an empath, and so you'll avoid conflict, or you'll be overly appeasing in an effort to make that discomfort go away. Sensory overload is definitely something I'm mindful of, hence my decision to skip the Gallipoli exhibit. The combination of being in the dark, loud sounds, and lots of people near me each doing their own thinking and feeling was simply too much. It's the reason why I don't watch horror movies. When those things are presented to me, I'm right there, feeling it all and then some. Remove yourself from the triggers if that's possible. Avoid the people who tend to dump on you or the rooms that don't feel good when you enter them. If that's not possible, use energy practices to clear and release the energy. One of my favourite practices taught to me by my energetic NLP teacher, Art Geyser, is to imagine that I have magnets around me and that they're drawing off any energy that isn't truly, authentically my own. And then once that's done, I fill the space up with gorgeous golden light. It's fast, it's effective, it's discreet, and it will leave you feeling grounded and whole. Now, it can be challenging to navigate the workplace when you're sensitive to the energies within it. So I felt called to share some practical, discreet processes that I use to navigate the workplace. And I've combined this into a 4-week group coaching program. I've called it Woo for Work. We'll be doing some healing, some grounding, some clearing, and protecting of our own energy and the energies around us. I'll also be showing you how you can create safety in your system through nervous system regulation so that you can use those emotions and get them up and out of your body instead of carrying them around. We'll also be using your superpower. Yes, your emotional awareness is your superpower so that you can curate a life that's filled with how you want to feel. Join the waitlist to receive the early bird pricing, and there's also going to be a few extra fun things because, well, you know me, once I start playing with energy and healing, I just can't help wanting to serve you. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. Can I ask you a favour? If our conversation spoke to you today, could you please take a moment to leave a 5-star review? Your review will help people discover this podcast, and together we can create a world where there's even more love and more laughter. And if you want to hear more from the Project Joyful podcast, just click the subscribe button. Bye for now.